What's good, everybody? It is Blur's Day, Thursday. I like to call it Blur's Day because it's just
I like
all a
Blur's
blur.
Day.
But it's time for the members-only show. And now, here we are, Carlo Russo, Lou Greco, and Gay B.
Can you lift up my video a little bit?
What do you want to lift up?
My head's going to get cut off a little bit.
You getting excited over here? You want to chop your head off?
Chop it.
I didn't even call you Gay B. Now he's calling you that.
There you go.
Everybody
That's a
called
little
it.
better. I'll come.
Do you not like that?
I didn't say
That's
no.
it.
I don't
Perfect.
want
There we go.
I like that. How you
I'm
feeling?
wearing sunglasses
I'm feeling
because
good, no.
because in honor of Tony being in the room, I have my sunglasses on.
Oh.
So I just want to thank him for everything he did today.
Yes.
Grazie. He's blowing me.
I want to see my dick in the dark.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Z? What's up, guys?
You guys, we're coming off an awesome weekend in Pittsburgh. Thank you, gentlemen, for inviting us to come out to Pittsburgh. We had an absolute blast. Shout out to the Oaks Theater and their fine staff over there at the Oaks. Big ups to our boy Tony Napoli over here for booking the show. Woo! Man, what a weekend.
We had you on stage. We had Gabe behind the merch table. We had Gabe running in and out for. Hey guys, can we have some people coming on? You were like, you were working in between.
Mediator.
Yeah, mediator between us. We want to thank you guys. We had a great time.
Great shows. It's 3 sold-out shows.
Absolutely.
And from COVID, think about it. We lost probably about 80 people that actually asked for refunds because of
we
course,
didn't lose 80 people.
they're upset,
Right.
That they can't watch a show, but they don't feel comfortable. Not only we made over and above, sold out, and we were turning people away. So it was a great show in Pittsburgh. Can't wait to go back.
Yes.
And the nice thing is, it's always a success when you rebook. I know Tony says yes. Anytime you can go someplace and get dates before you leave, it's a success, which we do. We have dates. The same, what is it, May 6th and 7th?
It'll be May 6th and 7th.
May 6th and 7th of next year. We're back at the Oaks Theater. So that's always a successful venture when you can rebook any place you go to. So I want to thank you guys for allowing that to happen.
No, thank
you guys
you.
are awesome. Yeah, no.
Seriously.
It was cool. We have a good
Crushed
show
it,
today,
man.
huh?
We crushed it. Also, big shout out to the MVP of our Pittsburgh trip, Craig Sesty.
Greg Sesty. Man.
He's our MVP.
Oh yeah.
Craig
In fact,
Guess what?
I want to
Amen.
turn his name into an adjective and be like, yo, that shit was Craig Sesty,
Sesty,
man.
man.
Like his barbecue sauce was so good.
Now-
it was Craig Sesty.
I'm not saying everybody has to bring gifts. It doesn't hurt.
It helps.
I'm just saying it doesn't hurt. But
I tell you something. Those
Craig and his family brought the biscotti. They brought some barbecue sauce. I have not had it yet, but you guys have had it.
I ate it all week.
Said it was outstanding.
Yeah.
You too?
That was very
Mink, everybody had barbecue.
See?
Okay.
I knew it.
so good.
It's so
It
good.
came in a jar.
We'll give you some. We'll give you
And
some.
I was like, look at that. That looks good.
It was
So
delicious.
we want to thank
Biscottis
him,
are good, too.
him and his family, and everybody that came out. And we had a great time with a Hall of Fame legendary Bruno Sammartino, the wrestler. His family was out there, and he's passed away. I think 3 years now. But his son. We met Daryl. He came down and met us, and we talked. And he's going to be on our podcast. I think next week, maybe. Hopefully, we'll get him on
Yeah.
next week. And he told us what?
Tell him.
You
I'll tell him.
You tell
Tell
him.
him.
You tell him.
I'll have a
Said
sip.
his father, Bruno Sammartino, the legend, was a fan.
It's amazing.
Was a fan.
Crazy.
Bruno Sammartino.
And his last years, yeah.
And Carlo.
I got everybody clapping. Yes.
so happy.
And Carlo pulled. Are you kidding me? The world champ was our fan of ours.
Exactly,
He was freaking
exactly.
out. Carlo was ready to jump out of his skin when he told him that.
I am really bad when I meet people.
You're passionate.
I boy fan, whatever it's called.
Fanboy.
Fanboy, is that what I fanboy?
mentally,
Boy fandom.
mentally rapes people.
He does.
Mentally, just.
Yes, I do. But he didn't say no. But no, I just want to say, we were. The funny thing is,
Yeah.
2 weeks prior, Z and I are talking, and that's when we realized, hey, Z, you're coming down. Why don't you become the MC? All that. He goes, I got a great story. You could say that.
Well, my introduction to Pittsburgh wasn't, and we talked about this on the podcast, which you're going to hear a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh, hold on.
Wait a minute.
This just a.
Wait.
Lauren,
We got to talk about that too.
Okay, go ahead.
I got a headache now.
Sorry.
Lauren Macario, Bruno was my godfather.
Come on.
Shut up!
Good friends
No
with
way.
Good friends with my nonno.
Oh my God, Lauren,
That's awesome.
she
It's
is.
amazing.
We'll talk to her on our next
We're gonna talk. Yeah, she's gonna be in our VIP.
It's a small world.
What a small world. Well, we met your. You met your cousin. I don't know what.
Your
What do you
god
call?
co-
What do you
god
god
cousin?
cousin?
Would it be your god cousin?
Daryl. Yeah.
God cousin Derek. What?
I don't know.
Well, I don't
said
know what the
godfather.
family's called. Yeah, who knows? When you have a godfather. Yeah, we talked to your paisan. So Z was talking about.
So Pittsburgh, my only introduction to Pittsburgh when I was a kid, my first introduction to Pittsburgh as a kid wasn't the Steelers, wasn't the Pirates, and it wasn't the Penguins. It was Bruno Sammartino. Because the guy was a god in my house, my grandmother's house. And she would sit so close to the TV and get all excited, pretty much jump in the TV.
Right.
You know, hit the son of the bitch! Hit the son of the bitch!
She loved it, right?
that
She
was
thought
her-
it was. Back then, everything was real.
They thought it was all real. So that was going to be my shtick. But the first night I forgot to do it because, me and Carla got a little too tipsy. And then
I love how you put my name in there.
Well,
We did.
you're a
That's
bad
true.
influence.
It's true.
Anyway,
I'm still
You're
doing.
still a bad
I'm still
influence.
doing it. I'm a whore.
anyways, you're like, that afternoon, you're like, hey, you should do the Bruno skit.
went to lunch,
you should
yeah.
do the Bruno skit. And all of a sudden, Tony comes downstairs and goes, would you like to meet the Bruno son?
Our
Like,
faces.
yeah.
We looked at each other like,
Yeah.
"Are you messing with
Can
us?"
you believe this? It's happening right now?
We didn't say yes fast enough, did we? We're like
That was,
tripping over each other.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
That was a great show. He brought his family downstairs. We had a.
Then we went to meet him. We went to meet him afterwards, right?
Afterwards, yeah, that's right. Wait a minute.
When everything closed down. Yeah, no. Because we said it was a small place.
Right.
So we said, as long as everybody has their masks on, we can meet you.
I don't remember. What
We were
happened.
all a little tipsy.
Pittsburgh.
Let's just put it that way.
We had fun.
Jesus.
No, you were good Saturday.
I
You
remember-
were
was good
good.
Saturday.
You didn't have anything until later on.
I remember everything.
No,
Gabe was there.
We had
Gabe
a lot
remembers.
of fun in Pittsburgh. We had a blast in Pittsburgh. The people were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was great, and it was just good to get back there because we were so hyped last year before all the bullshit happened to get to Pittsburgh. It was a big deal for us. Pittsburgh was a big deal, and then it all shit the bed.
And you have to remember, Louis.
Finally get there.
What's the potential we could have played in Pittsburgh before? I mean, that was hundreds of people.
700.
700?
700, yeah.
I mean, and then everything kind of went, obviously with COVID.
Yeah,
And
and then with 125 capacity,
But still,
or was it
3
150?
shows.
Was it 150?
125, right? But still, 3 shows.
Packed.
Yeah, we did our tour, Fa Coffee tour,
Yeah.
that we haven't done in 2 years.
Yeah, because
So-
they haven't seen it.
That was
and
great.
Was it like riding a bike,
you.
getting back on that Fog Coffee bike?
it was
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
It's the same
Does
stuff.
muscle memory kick
But
in?
as
Yeah.
we're going to
Yeah.
talk today, was a lot of improv.
Yeah. Right.
That's what
Segue.
we're good at. So we figured it out.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
and it's actually a lot of parts were funnier.
Mm-hmm.
like, shit,
Well,
we better write that down.
and we'll talk more about this, but a lot of times it's what you don't remember and what you make out of that moment that becomes the moment. So we have a lot of that on stage where, we forgot it, but what we come up with to substitute that part, people love. And they don't see, the nice thing is we're our worst critics because we know what we wrote. We know people watching, they don't know what's coming next. So if we screw up and we do something else that's funnier or get a laugh, people think, oh, that's part of the show. Mm-hmm. What's that?
I'm the worst critic.
You
Yeah,
are?
Tony's the
Oh, yeah,
worst
Tony will
critic.
tell you.
Forgot this line.
Tony will tell you. Tony said, you did fine, but you forgot one line. I go, we cut that line. He goes, okay. 'Cause he'll remember everything because he's heard it over and over and over. But, so sometimes what you can't remember and what you fill it in with is better than what actually was there in the first place. So we've done that many of times. But so we want to thank you guys for coming in and, doing something for the first time. Want to congratulate you doing a set up there in front of a sold out crowd.
That's what you want to call it?
Yeah, of course it was.
Being
That
a
was
hype
your
man.
side.
I know.
That was-
I threw a couple jokes in
that
about
was
my
great.
grandmother, and that was about
Hey,
it.
That's right. You did great.
Great.
I'm not a
think,
stand-up comedian, I could be a hype man and be like, yo, check out our Patreon all day long, but like to get up there and tell jokes, but it got me outside my comfort zone. And we have a guest in the studio tonight
They could talk about that.
that is going to talk about that. And as a matter of fact, I am thinking about joining one of his classes at the Uptown Theater and maybe, honing in and,
Well,
and
you should.
fine
No, I'm
crafting
kidding.
my stand-up because I need it, right?
No.
You need all the work you could get,
Well,
boy.
before we bring him on, we have a lot of stuff tonight.
Yeah.
Gabe, you're still doing your shows on Twitch?
Yes, I'll be.
You're
on
killing
there.
it.
Killing
Yeah,
it.
do
I'll
your
be there
thing.
this weekend. I have a gig. I have 2 gigs coming up this week, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited. I have a gig tomorrow night.
I just
If
wanted
you're
to
in
ring
the
the bell.
Utica area, I'll be at Lucan's tomorrow night DJing, and then I am DJing for my friend Amos Donnell at What the Truck here for Kiss FM.
Okay.
So we're kicking that season off of What the Truck. So
Awesome.
I'm super excited, man.
And your show on Twitch
Twitches
is
will be this weekend. So if you want to check my Twitch out, it's www.twitch.tv/DJEase1.
Check out
Come
his
check it
Twitch.
out. There's going to be a bunch of people dancing and just a lot of fun stuff. We're just playing music, have fun, and chit chat.
It's a great
you
show.
Know what I mean?
It
a
is
great
a lot
show.
of fun, man.
Have a lot of good, I'll introduce you guys to new music that you never heard. And we go from the 80s, 90s. We go all over the place.
No, you're awesome. And we're talking to you about maybe joining us in Connecticut, maybe.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that'd be
would
fun.
I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
Z is working, so he can't make it this time. But
I won't make it to Connecticut, but we'll make it to the next one
but
for sure.
yeah, it might be dangerous to just hang out with us.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, Z is pretty bad too. So.
Yeah, I'm a bad
So,
influence.
yeah. We need Gabe around.
Yes.
He's very good at keeping us very
Gabe's a good
down to
worker,
earth.
man.
Down to earth.
I
keep
could
us down to
instigate-
earth.
I could give you the zing.
Yeah, but you keep us down to earth. What we don't like is when you walk away from a table and allow an empty chair to be taken by someone else. That we don't like. But we won't talk about that, will
It's like,
we?
let me just sit. I'm going to
You
go
want
over
to
here
talk?
for a minute.
You guys want
Get
to
it,
talk?
get it, get it,
You want to
get
talk
it.
about improv?
Get it.
That night,
That night
sitting
was
at the
improv.
table.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what's going
I'm
on.
going to go over this
Yes, go
because
ahead.
So we went out to eat after the show, guys. Right? So all of a sudden, we're eating. We're exhausted. 2 shows we did that night. We're exhausted. We're sitting down. We're eating. Finally, get our food, eat our pizza. All of a sudden, this girl out of nowhere from the bar decides to sit down and talk to us. First mistake.
Yeah.
Number 1. Oh, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? We pay no attention to her. We eat, right? And then she just keeps talking. And then somebody, was it you or Z, said,
me.
Jimmy Simmons?
We started making up names.
Yeah, she was like talking about, stand-up comedy. Oh, like Jimmy Simmons and she goes, huh? I go, yeah, Jimmy. Oh my God, how long? Where has he been? And then all of a sudden Z chimes in. Yeah, oh, he's been in California. So we're having this conversation. She's like following this half an hour. I would say
About
she's
half
sitting
hour.
at our
Just
table.
about a half
We confused the shit
What
out
did
of
you
it.
say she was doing? She was-
Conversation after conversation about different people. What about Sammy Vincent? What?
Lou said at one time her head was going like this.
She was like this, back and
Like she was
forth.
watching a ping pong
Because we were,
match.
yeah, we
She
were
didn't want to
just.
go sit with her friend. That's what I'm telling you. She didn't want.
She was so
I wanted to
hammered.
run,
Gabe
just
was
look
on
at-
the other table dying, just dying.
I was like,
Because he left that chair alone. You left it empty for her to come in and invade us.
Yeah.
And then
then
she
what-
started
I
talking
set that
Italian.
up.
What was
Do
the thing
this.
she said? I need, I know some Italian. But I don't know what it means. Voglio fare amore molto
Yeah.
tante.
You're saying
Vorrei
it's,
fare molto amore tanto.
you're saying it's so much better than her.
Oh, my.
There was no,
Yeah.
the molto tante.
Voglio fare amore tanto, right? Those four.
Well, if I amore tanto, she didn't say it like that at
I
all.
want a lot of sex. I want to make love a lot.
And we're all going,
That's what
oh,
that means.
But I don't know what it means. Oh my God.
yeah. Gabe is single. So I love when people go, you guys
that
must
would
have
hurt.
so much fun. That was actually one of the best times because we made ourselves
Did
laugh.
she actually get up or did we get up?
No,
and
we
leave
left
sitting
her.
at the
We
table?
We
left
left her. We left her there.
She looked at her friend and went,
It was a
I
disaster.
gotta go.
This
Yeah.
girl was a disaster.
She loved me.
Yeah.
She did. Oh, she did say she loved
Are
Tony.
you guys like Are you like a mafia guy?
Yeah.
These guys
Didn't
like
some-
your
yeah.
bodyguard? Shut
Yeah.
up.
Tony's 6'3". We're the bodyguards. Oh well.
Oh my God.
Oh, so good. So that happened.
Ridiculous.
So that was good. So
Guys, also, I want to open up the super chats. We're
Yes.
going to open up the super chats right now.
Open 'em up.
We got a new present, and we got a gong.
Oh. And that's from who? Gina? Is
Gina
that
sent
Gina
this to
Arguelles?
us.
Gina
Thank you,
Arguelles,
Gina.
thank you.
Thank you, Gina. So let's get
If
that
we
thing
haven't
ringing.
annoyed you enough, we now have we used to have
My
this.
teeth are itching.
Yeah, I know. Now we have that.
We got bells, bells and gongs.
So
and
if you
all
want to
that
use
shit.
if you want to use that as a super chat, we will bing bing bang gong and read your message.
Yes, we'll bing bing and gong gong you.
So we want to also thank our sponsor of the show.
Yes.
We want to bring that up there right now. Maybe
MedicalAlertSouthwest.com.
there we are, guys. MedicalAlertSouthwest.com. This is a perfect thing. I have older parents myself in their 80s. But, you can't just, I love to lock them up, but I can't. I just can't. But they want to, no, I'm kidding. They want to be in their own house. They want to be independent still. They're in their 80s. They know what they're doing, but I worry about them. Everybody worries about them. And, this is a perfect thing to have, MedicalAlertSouthwest.com. If something happens to them, all they have to do is hit a button and somebody's there on the other line 24/7. They'll come to you. They'll talk to you, see what you need. Anything at all. If you fall, it has a GPS, so they know where you are. So if you can't, if you start talking and you pass out, they can find you. This is a great thing for everybody to have their peace of mind, not only for them but yourself as a child of parents that are a little older. The nice thing is, it has no contracts. You don't have to do for 10 years. If you need it for 5 months, a year, 2 years, it's up to you. Nice thing also is you take it out of the box. It's easy to set up, and it's a perfect way to have that peace of mind. And if you mention that you've heard it on the Uncle Louie Variety Show or members only, they will give you a $25 gift card. So that's a perfect thing to have. Everybody's happy, and it's a great company, great people behind the company, and we're so proud to have them as our sponsor. So again, go to MedicalAlertSouthwest.com and get yours today.
We got our first super chat from Joe Town. She's saying, hit that gong for Gina.
Hit that gong for Gina. All right, guys.
Gong for Gina. Hit the gong for Gina.
We're hitting that
I
gong.
think she said that. What'd you do on my show?
What you do?
Came out with, you just came right in the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
What
like an
was
air
that?
traffic reporter.
Yeah.
And we're going to weather with Lou and Gabe. No,
It's snowing.
It's freezing
we want to
here.
remind everybody also, because we're going to have our guests on. We want to talk to them a lot. So I want to get all these things out before we talk to our guests. Patreon.com/The Uncle Louie Variety Show. Please go on there. Some great backstage stuff that we put on there. Full access of the show. You have some crazy stuff with Zia Maria and Pasqualino that you put up there. We have the VIP Lounge podcast, and we also have the VIP happy hour that we're going to be doing once a month with all the VIP members. That's only $10 a month. $10 a month, and you're going to get so much more exclusive videos. We're thinking about doing a show, a Uncle Louie, maybe a late night with Uncle Louie.
Yeah.
We're in talks right now with Uncle Louie. He wants money.
He wants nothing to do with anything.
Actually, we're trying to trick him into this
Yeah,
show.
as long as you give him money, you don't give him.
He's happy. So maybe we'll have a thing on Patreon, VIP. It's called a Late Night with Uncle Louie. And we're in talks. We're in talks. So that should be coming out very soon. So that's going to be a quick. Okay. So.
Lauren Macario, AIC in Vegas needs Uncle Louie dinner show. Las
right.
Vegas will be at 100% capacity on June the 1st.
We are there.
We're there.
AIC.
Tony's in the house. He heard that. He's working on that.
IAC.
Yeah.
IAC.
IAC.
His eyes.
Somebody says they miss fairy tales in Vino.
Hey, patreon.com.
Well,
That's where you'll see it.
You know what? We'll probably pull we'll probably add
Yep.
something like that
Patreon.
to Patreon,
sure.
because we're itching to do. I
Yep.
know they're itching to do another.
Yeah, they're ready.
Fairy
They're
tale.
ready.
They
So,
love
guys,
it.
a lot of stuff is going down. Patreon is a place to be. $10 a month. VIP membership is going to give you all that stuff.
And we're going
so
to tell
excited.
you this too. We're going to tell you this too.
He's gonna tell you something.
At our show, on our live show, you're going to see one fairy tale. Every live show we
Absolutely.
do. So when you go to the live show, expect a fairy tale.
Absolutely.
Zia Police says, tell Carlucci to take off the glasses.
I can't. I'm drunk, Zia. I'm drunk.
He's blind.
He's doing his best Tony Napoli impersonation.
I'm in honor of Tony.
There you go.
At least put something good on.
Yeah, at least.
This plastic, this.
He said at least put something good on.
If they're so good, you would have never thrown them to me.
It's a Versace.
Okay, yeah, they're a shit sheet.
Yeah, all right, put the Versace's on. There you go. Now you look like you're in the mafia.
Oh.
It's a different look.
Carlo Soprano.
Piece of shit. Hey, so yeah, Patreon, we're going to have so many things going on Patreon. And thank you for everybody that's on there. Yes.
Which, by the way, I just put up the interview that we had today.
Oh,
with
you want to talk about that?
With
Yeah.
comedian Mike Pisecca.
Pisecca, yep.
Yep, which is on
Penzica.
there. Penzica.
Penzica.
You know, I can't pronounce
Mike
anything
Penzica.
Some
properly.
Italian
You're lucky I
name.
say Lou Greco right.
What do you say?
Okay?
Mike Prosecco.
Prosecco.
Mike, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so that's on our Patreon right now. You can watch that, and you can watch that interview before we
That
release.
was quick as shit.
Yeah, quick. Bro.
You're good.
So you can watch that interview before we put up the podcast, which
Wow.
the podcast will be up at midnight.
Talk about
tonight.
exclusive Patreon.
Exclusive for Patreon. We love our Patreons.
Yeah, so we met Mike in Florida when we did the Off the Hook Comedy Club, and we got to know him and love him, and he's on the podcast that's coming out tonight, tomorrow, this morning. I don't know.
In
I don't know
about
the time
3.5
anymore.
hours.
3.5 hours.
Tomorrow.
All right. So, Gabe, you got anything you want to add to it before we get to our guest?
No, not really. No, I got nothing.
Nothing?
Add to the Patreon?
Or anything?
No, did you put your footage of us eating?
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see that?
Did you see that? Did anybody? Well, I don't know. That sandwich was amazing. I ate that whole thing.
Yeah,
I know you did.
I couldn't believe it.
We
I'm like,
talked about
I
the-
said it to her, I go, I'm not gonna
Finish it?
finish it. Let alone you guys are sitting there. I'm like, you know what? This is really good.
Yeah, you finished
Just
it.
ate the whole thing.
So it has French fries, coleslaw,
20
a
minutes.
full turkey.
Fistful of
Has
meat.
it was
Just full of meat.
It was.
I watched that last night.
Did you?
Oh my god.
So yeah, we had fun. I need you guys on the road as much as we can. We got
Yeah, man.
That was a good crew. We had a great time, right, Tony? I mean, these guys
really did.
bust their ass. Yeah. So
Fantastic management in the theater.
what was her name again?
Yeah.
Ash.
Alicia.
Alicia.
Alicia at the Oaks
Amazing.
Theater. She was
Yeah,
awesome.
we want to thank
She was
Alicia,
awesome.
Steve,
The whole staff.
Peter.
I think
Yeah.
everybody, the whole staff, especially the sound guy.
Peter was
He
great.
knew his shit.
Peter was great.
He was on everything.
Yep.
I'm like, could you? I can't explain. He goes, I go, yep, that's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly okay.
I told him
Thanks.
it was a pleasure to work with a sound guy that wasn't miserable for
Yeah.
a change.
Such a
He
nice
was
guy.
happy.
Or smelly.
Yeah, or smelly.
Yeah.
Smelly's our problem.
Or on crack. So it's one of the.
Dude, he was super happy. He was all clean cut. I was not used to that.
No, we're
at
good.
all.
No, we've gotten lucky. I mean, a couple of times. I mean, doing this for 3 years now, we've gotten lucky. We've had some bad ones. I'm not saying, but most of them have been very nice.
Belly's not the problem.
Bad.
Belly.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. I'm going to bring up the Windsor incident. Okay.
Bring it
I'm going to
up.
bring up the Windsor because this is the people that Tony gets. Okay. So this guy.
Throw him under the bus.
This guy comes in and goes, "Hi, I'm your sound guy." Okay. His fingers looks like he's been digging for like 3 days, first of all. Yeah. Okay.
Hygiene was not his.
This is not a funny story. Well,
Yes, it is.
But it is.
Yes, it is.
And then he smoked on top of it. It just looks like yeah. So, anyways, you know,
Looks like he puts
smell. So we have
his
these.
finger?
We have the head mics, right? So the head mic wasn't working right. So I'm trying to take care of it, and I'm in this little secluded corner, and there's like glasses stacked up behind
full of
me.
water.
Full of they're just stacked up behind me. So if I
Absolutely.
move the wrong way, it's all coming down, right? So he goes, "Oh, let me just grab that for you," and I'm like, "No, I'm okay, I'm fine." No, he goes, "No, let me just." He goes, "No, I gotta do," and I'm like, and he grabs this,
Dude.
and he's like, "Oh,
Dude,
and I'm like, what the?"
all you saw, because Lou couldn't go further back, all you saw is like his head going, like chasing the fingers.
My face was like, he's like,
I'm dying. I'm laughing. He's getting assaulted by this man. We call him Hep Fingers. Then we Hep.
I was like, what the? What happened to me?
He's looking at me for help. I'm like, I got nothing, man. I got
I
nothing.
feel violated.
Yeah,
He can't breathe because
I'm
he's
like-
down in the corner laughing.
I'm
Did
like-
nothing for me. Nothing.
And I knew exactly what he was smelling because I smelled that same finger, and I knew. I'm like, he's getting a face full.
I got it all. Like, let me get that for you.
And he was such a nice guy.
He fish hooked you?
He was such a nice guy.
Fish hooked you?
So
That was.
I mean, they made out. They made, I mean, it was nice, but
I
Picked
put
his
the
nose
hands
before
out.
he did that.
I was like, oh, with a.
And
soap
I
in
knew.
my mouth.
Where was his fingers before all that?
I don't know.
they weren't somewhere where it smelled like roses. I'll tell you that much.
No.
They were in a pile of
How did
something.
it taste?
Lou still got PTSD.
It was nicotine and
The
asshole.
worst.
The smell wasn't the worst. The worst smell came from a guy that was 10 feet away from us. Remember that guy? Let's not talk about where that was. Let's not talk about where that was.
Making out.
As he's
Stop.
grabbing his girlfriend, we smell. I'm like, I can't even stay on stage. I'm gonna vomit
Listen,
right now.
if
If
there's-
you shit your pants,
Wash.
you should not be near anybody on stage. Okay, go,
Just go home.
away.
Go away.
The problem,
Go home.
the problem is.
Is that your PSA for today?
Yes. If you shit your pants, don't be around anybody. The problem is these rooms get very hot and you're under pressure. You're sweating. So if you're not clean to start, sweat and ass
guy
doesn't work well.
This guy wasn't clean to start a week prior.
Right. Exactly.
To our show.
So you add sweat to that and then heat.
Nasty.
Yeah, it's an asshole
and
sandwich
then he's
in your
bending
face.
over and half his ass is showing. And I'm like,
Smelled like
I'm
pussy.
done tonight.
Then we
You want-
asked-
Then
then
they
we-
go, you want dinner? No.
We asked
I'm
Tony,
not-
how much did you pay for this? And when he told us, I won't say, I go, that's why. That's why we got that. That's why we have Ass Boy.
He set
That's
up
why.
cans. He just had a can with the
He's got
string
butt cheeks.
Yeah.
to the top of the.
It's great.
You know when you ask for a deal, you're gonna get sweaty ass. That's the only.
It was swamp ass.
It was disgusting, and then he was making out in the middle of the show.
Ah.
So with his girlfriend. So it was good. It was good. So we hired him again. He's on the road with us, so he's good. He's good. No,
Permanent sound guy.
This year in Philly will have Biagio.
we better have a sound
we're gonna
system.
have,
We better have a sound system because he's a singer and everything.
bringing- he's bringing
we
his
have to have a sound system.
He's bringing his sound.
Thank God, Biagio's with us.
It's his son, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love him. Yeah. So that's going to be
great
awesome.
And the
Great
wise
kid.
guys.
And
They're
the
gonna be
wise
there?
guys are coming. Everybody's coming.
Everybody's
baby.
coming, man.
We're
It's
gonna
gonna be
have a
great.
blast.
Huh?
Philadelphia
Show
is
is
going to
this?
be
Philly.
a blast.
Philly's
No,
awesome.
This
I
year,
performed there
you
3
guys
times.
better come down with us for Philly.
You guys doing Philly with us?
Insane.
All depends on the date. But finally, like, my life's starting to come back around again.
I know.
Like,
See, talk about
theaters,
your shit,
concerts
man.
are starting to happen again. So I'm going to be busy working. Thank God.
Good.
I'm pretty
Yeah, a
excited.
year ago we weren't saying this.
No, not at all. But hey, what do you think? We got to bring our guest in.
Yeah,
So
so,
bring in my buddy Devin.
We'll put him on. We'll put him on the Gabe. Everybody, check out Gabe. He's got a lot of stuff going on.
The other
Check me out on Twitch, www.twitch/TV/DJEase1.
What do you want me to do?
Give him that
DJEase1. Come check me out. Thank you very
Give
much.
him that one. No.
Give him this one.
Yep.
No, not Gabe. Him.
No.
Where's he gonna
The
sit?
guest. Gabe gets up and the guest sits
Oh,
down.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going
Because of
on.
COVID,
Thank you,
he's got to
Gabe.
use
Oh,
a different
COVID. I'm
one.
sorry.
Yes. I'm telling you to switch
I'm
him out.
sorry, buddy. I have no idea what's going on.
Have a seat.
Here he is. Have a seat, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you my friend Devin Mahoney. Now, Devin is the proprietor. Would you call it a proprietor?
I wouldn't say that.
I want to say proprietor. Let me
I
get
wish
to
I knew
there
that
we go.
word.
I mean, like, I don't know if it's
Executive
wrong.
director,
I am the
El Presidente.
I'm the uptown guy.
the Uptown guy from the Uptown Theater.
Uptown guy.
Now, Devin has a very interesting story.
Yes, he does.
Devin grew up here in Utica, born and raised, and then moved out to Hollywood about 15, 16 years ago.
Yes.
And then one day he came back to visit and noticed that the Uptown Theater was empty, and he's like, I'm going to buy that. And he did. And he moved back home from his awesome job in Hollywood. He was a writer on Scrubs. He worked on Scrubs in Hollywood and all that.
Yeah.
And then he's now opening up the Uptown Theater. So,
That is so cool. Ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen,
yes.
welcome to Members Only.
yeah, Devin.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This is so fun.
It's our pleasure, man.
And you don't know what this is like, but like air traffic control, I feel like
Yeah. Oh, I know. I do the podcast with
control
these. on,
checking
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Co-pilot Mahoney is reporting for service.
That's it.
We'll be
Oh, yeah.
cruising at a comfortable 1,500 feet.
Is that comfortable?
Yeah.
No.
No. I don't think that's comfortable.
Not for anybody.
Can I jump now?
warm.
Can I jump now?
So one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring Devin in here, not only to give him some love and to promote the Uptown Theater, but Devin, was it before pandemic you started running those improv classes? Is that correct?
Yeah, we that was the first thing we did, kind of right away, even before we phased out when we're still phasing out the reconstruction of the building because it's a mess. Mm-hmm. So one of the first things we did was there are two storefronts in the theater. One of them is the Green Onion Pub, best pub in all of Utica. Go check them out. Give them your business and drink their beer. Mm-hmm. I love those guys. It was my favorite bar in Utica even before this was ever a thing.
Great spot.
Great spot.
Shout out Nick D.
Yeah, Nick D and Colin. And that was my block growing up. Like I grew up right up the street. So like I would tramp around there and jump down to Last Unicorn, and Pizza Pad was right there. We started. There was a storefront on the other side, opposite the bar, that was a. I don't know what he did. It was.
It was shady. It was shady.
I know
We don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to make any accusations on
Don't
air.
make any enemies
There
on.
was some Utica shit going on there.
We all know what that means.
So
I'm going to put my sunglasses back on.
retiring just around the time we were taking over, and in fact, it took some tracking down to determine whether or not he was actually real and existed. But he did. Very nice gentleman. And right around that time, I was doing some, clearing out after him. He'd been there for 60 years, and so I was doing some demo. Mm-hmm. And Dean Kelly, who runs JK or owns JK Lumber, was in there and came by and offered, if he could ever help. So we said, we were in his office the next day with a proposal. They sponsored us and helped us flip that little storefront into a little studio space. It's probably not much bigger than this, but we use it for workshops. We have a weekly stand-up open mic. I teach improv and sketch writing there. And we started right before COVID, had a whole spring lineup of shows. Nights. We had stuff going on a couple nights. Every night of the week we had something going on. But we're just starting to do original programming. We had gotten a grant and flipped the lobby into a little screening room that fit about 50 or 60 people, and
nice.
we're showing $2 movies there on Tuesdays. Before this all hit. So yeah, the improv was the first thing. Then we built out into the lobby, and now we're doing our big campaign push, Save a Seat, to try to get the money to do the next big push, which is to open up the front half of the auditorium. But that would include the stage and the big screen and 300 seats.
So you got a plan.
So there's a
yeah.
plan, and there's a plan behind the plan, and it's all going according to plan.
Yeah.
Even with this pandemic, we're still a little bit. We're on track for.
That's good.
We always thought this was going to be a 5-year project, and we're about 2.5 years into it, and are really happy with where we are.
So your story is interesting. Let's dive into the going to Hollywood, leaving here, going there. I know we talked about it a little bit before the show started. So talk about that, what you wanted to do out there, what you accomplished out there, that journey.
I grew up a comedy nerd, right? Like big SNL fan. I went to high school in the late 90s, so this is pre-internet. Yeah. You didn't have the Daily Show on every night. You had to wait till Saturday Night Live every week, every 3 weeks, and they take a week to get live relevant comedy. There was no just like you turn on the internet and there's funny videos about stuff that's happening. Like you would wait all week for that. I would
must see TV.
That was it. That was my thing. It was just I loved that. Was comedy. I've always loved theater. I went to school. I went to Siena College out near Albany. I was a business major because I heard that was like the easiest one in business. Sounded like a good thing that you wanted to be in. Yeah. So I did that, and then after college, I moved back here. I tried to work. I worked a couple of the radio stations trying to sell airtime, and did not do a good job of that. To be fair, there were not very many businesses around here at that time.
Right.
So on a whim, I applied to Syracuse University to grad school. I got into their television and film program. I did that for a year and a half, and then they gave me an internship, which brought me to LA. I was working as an intern for a couple of alum who were, according to Jim Writers, the old Jim Belushi show.
Yep.
And I worked on a show. My first gig there was a show called MXC, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. You remember that show?
Yeah,
Gabe does.
Yeah.
Gabe does. Well, he worked on it.
Yeah, that was my first writers' room experience where they brought a bunch of improvisers in. And if you don't know that show, it's these guys, just a couple of guys, bought this the rights to this Japanese game show footage,
Sure.
and then would play it on a screen, kind of just like this.
And you guys reviewed it?
And they would just sit there and they would do voiceovers. You know,
Rip it apart.
Wow.
And the show eventually got remade. It became Wipeout on ABC.
Yes.
which
Oh,
is like-
Wipeout, yeah.
It was essentially that. but
Wipeout.
It was Takeshi's Castle in Japan or wherever it
Gotcha.
was in the early 90s. So
Shit was hilarious.
and they
was
would, and they
hysterical.
would really wipe out and bite it. And
They
it
would,
was-
yeah.
and so it was a bunch of groundlings who
Which we
would go
talked
there
about, yeah.
and make puns and essentially just a bunch of dick jokes about that's all it was like dick jokes. And
Half a
people,
comedy.
Basically what we
Half
do.
a comedy is dick jokes.
Yeah, they're half poop jokes. You know,
Yeah,
so it was
the
all
other one is
poop and
shit jokes,
dick, yeah.
exactly.
So
That's where we come in.
So from there, I got hired on Scrubs, which is my favorite show at the time.
I told you, my favorite show. My wife and I we wouldn't miss it.
Groundbreaking at the time. I was a huge fan, so I got hired there working in the production office. Like everybody brought their dogs to work, so I'd like walk Zach Braff and Donald Faison's dogs, and like make coffee and copies. And then the next year, I got to do that for the writers, so there was less coffee to buy. Most of the time, I got to just like sit there and write, and they would give me feedback. And then after another year, I'd get to sit in the writers' room with 12 or 15 of the best
That's awesome.
writers and just take notes and pitch stuff when I had stuff. And after a little while of that, they let me write one, and I produced a web series. It was one of the first web series back when, like, in the early 2000s. They thought that was going to be, I guess, late 2000s. They thought that was going to be a thing. It was a fad.
I remember the
But,
web series.
Fad.
But I did a web
As we're
series.
That was
on
like
the internet right
that was like
now.
2010 and
It was like 2008 or 9.
yeah,
I wanna
right there,
say.
yeah, right
So I
there
got
then.
to write an episode then, season 8, which was a great experience. Got to produce that, and then went on to work on a show called Better Off Ted after that.
Oh, remember that one? Yeah, I remember
another great
Better
show
Off
that
Ted.
was-
Yeah.
it was too
that
smart
about his
for-
head, inside his head or something?
No,
what was
that was Herman's Head. Better Off Ted was about Portia de Rossi was in it. Jay Harrington.
Mm-hmm.
He worked for this evil corporation. It was a business satire. They made everything
Okay.
from like
I do
butt
remember,
wipes
yeah.
to like atomic bombs, and they had scientists that were like, I need a mouse that can withstand 1,000,000 degrees. You got it. A real mouse or a computer mouse? It doesn't matter. So
Right.
just like this really absurd.
And you were a writer?
I was the writer's assistant, which is kind of the lowest level writer's job.
Mm-hmm.
There's about a dozen writers on any given writing staff, and then they'll have an assistant who actually has to sit there and do all the writing.
Can I ask
while
you a
they sit
question?
back and
How-
popcorn.
Talk about what does a writer's room look like? When you're, what does that entail?
It's a big table, a monitor, a couple like this, and then a computer. And there's 10 or 12, sometimes. I mean, I've been on staffs as big as 18 people.
Wow.
Of people in sneakers and jeans, and dressed like this, eating junk food all around, just kind of like shooting the shit. And
Everybody smells like coffee.
everybody smells like coffee,
Or something else.
Yeah,
It's
especially
California.
Yeah,
Now. But
or something else.
it's a great environment. It's a great.
And you just
place
shoot the
to-
shit and you're like,
you just shoot the
ideas.
shit. Yeah, on a sitcom, you come in over the summer and you take a couple weeks or a month and just kind of talk about what you want to do that season and
Mm-hmm.
pitch ideas for that season or different characters, and then you take a couple weeks to break those down into, all right, this stuff can go in this episode and that fits with this story nicely, and you lay that all out, and then you outline everything, usually as a group. One person will go off and write it, and then they'll bring it back and get notes, and then they'll write a first draft. Usually whoever's name is on the written by usually just writes the first draft. Everything's group written.
Jeez, we missed our call, and we do that all the
it's
time
like
every
it's
day.
what we do.
It's a cool gig. It's tough to do. It's tough to get into, and even if you can do it, it's a grind. You're there like early every morning.
You're always
late
there. You're living there, yeah.
Always there.
That's why it's for the young people.
And it can be great. Yeah. So it was like, and that's the thing. At a certain point, I'm like, all right, like I did this. I got the experience.
I'm done, yeah.
Okay.
Move on.
I did it. I would have liked to have like risen up the ranks more and made some more money. But at a certain point, it's just like, all right, now I'm just going to go do it on my own.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing. Right around the time that I went to Syracuse, there were no iPhones. I had to learn to shoot on like mini DV. There was,
Mm-hmm.
it was, I paid $30,000 to go to learn to shoot and edit and do all that stuff. And 4 years later, you get an iPhone. You just do all that in your pocket now.
Oh yeah, that's how we made.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
I had the
for my
pods
iPhone.
with
Yeah.
2 VHS tapes. I would cut,
Yeah.
with 2 pots. You know,
Absolutely.
cut here, cut there, and then have the other videotape. Okay, cut.
Yeah.
What a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I was doing public access 30 years ago, and that's all we did. VHS.
We
You
would
cut it.
cut from like the camera.
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable.
And then, the edit's off, but what are you going to do? You just got to leave
Just
it
a little bit
as
off.
is.
But I always, as a kid, had fun playing with that stuff. Like I had a karaoke machine with like 2 tape decks and the mic.
Yep.
And me and my buddies would use it to do like daily show. We would like
That's
interview.
all we did.
We would interview like Belle Biv DeVoe. Like, so Belle Biv DeVoe, like, what do you like to do after
Then
the
you
show?
cut
Like,
in,
move to
yeah.
the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's interesting. Like, you got any advice? Like, never try to big button a smile. Like, oh, that is very good advice. Like, and like
We did all that. Yeah, that's all we did. But you're creative. That's
and now
where you
it's
come
like
from,
it's
right?
internet stuff, but like that's what we did, and there was no outlet for it, and that's why I felt like I got a late start. Like, you don't tell your guidance counselor when they're like, "What do you like to do?" and you're like, "I don't know, interview Belle Biv DeVoe." Like, they're like, I don't know.
no.
I think Nazareth College has a program for that. I don't know. They tried to get everyone.
Belle Biv
to do it.
DeVoe
But anyways,
channel,
to
yeah.
your point, we had to wait a week to see this comedy. Now it's like in your face. It's
Right.
24.
You ask for it, you see it.
You got to be on top of it all the time now.
And even the live stuff, no one watches the live stuff anymore because there's so much. It's just like
No.
you watch the best stuff the next morning. So it's-
I haven't watched TV in like a year and a half. I go straight to YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't even. I have my Roku and I go to YouTube, Netflix. TV doesn't even exist to me. I don't even know when the last time I watched
ya.
maybe football game. But I wake up in the morning, I go to my podcast, I watch that. So it's crazy what's out there now. Like you said, you don't have to wait a week every Thursday, my favorite show.
Yeah,
you
just
can
watch
get
a
whatever
rerun.
you want. You look it up, boom, it's in your face.
And I mean, you guys have proven you can do it yourself, right? Like it used
Absolutely.
to have to be that you had to be in LA, which was a sunny area, nice most of the time, around a
Yep.
studio where they had all these expensive
Or
cameras.
New York City and get-
or New York City,
yeah.
but you had to be around it just to get access to the cameras and stuff. And now it's
Right.
like,
Yeah, you just
can't
turn,
do this
anywhere,
you turn on your phone.
and it really
all
brings
got
it down.
these.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all got-
We got to say that anybody can do it, but there's a select few that can do it. Well.
Get away with it.
Because
absolutely.
I've seen something like, oh my God.
Yeah, like stop doing it, please.
What is
Stop.
happening?
You wish that a lot, right?
Like, stop.
But it's also like it's content is king, right? So if like you have something good, it can rise up. It's
Right.
it's hard as hell, and there's a lot of clutter to break through.
Right.
But if you like, my theory in coming back to the Uptown was like, I was working on a show, one of the last shows I worked for, and I always say this, and I feel bad if anybody, I'm sure they haven't, that I work with works on the show. One of the last shows I worked on was a CBS show that is still on. It's in its like 6th season now, and I was dying to be a
That's a
writer.
good show then. 6th season. That's
Well, and if I had stayed on, I'd be like a mid-level writer right now, right?
Yeah.
Which was my whole thing, and I'm
Right.
I would have done it, but the people were so mean to me.
Really?
The bosses, and there were so many talented writers in that room who I
You know who you
loved
are.
and were really good, but they were all making this show that none of them would watch or put their name on, right?
Really?
It's because of like, especially on network, it's like lowest common denominator. You get so many feedback notes on like, can we take this out to not offend these people, or like, and those multicam shows to begin with are just kind of broad. So it's like one of the friends was in this show, and I'm like, no one is enjoying working on this show. It's a juggernaut. They're getting paid. It's great.
It's a
but
gig.
like,
Yeah, it's.
nobody would watch
They're
it.
making it impossible. Networks are making it impossible
So it's
to
tough.
put anything out there that's worth watching.
So I mean that's why streaming like Netflix. I have a lot of I worked for some of the biggest and best comedy showrunners in LA,
Right.
and like so they're all going to Netflix and places.
Even
that'll
Netflix
just-
is getting a little bit.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
but-
they're becoming more of the network.
yes.
You know what I mean? Everybody used to, oh, Netflix. They're becoming the big boy, and
Yeah.
they're starting to act like NBC, CBS.
But from a creator standpoint, they will generally at least let you do something and be kind of hands off.
if they don't shelf you,
Right.
though.
yeah. Yes.
If
right.
they don't shelf you,
Yeah, I mean, if
and
they
put
don't
you
like it,
down
they just
here,
won't play it,
and they
yeah.
put you down here, and you'll never be seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's where it's going.
And
that's where it's going.
And that's where it's going.
gone.
And there and all these new things. I mean, NBC is like I don't watch NBC. I watch Peacock
I
if I
haven't
need to watch
turned it on,
NBC.
right, yeah.
It's like it's essentially they're just creating cable all over again. They're just
Streaming wise.
they're
So many
just-
apps now.
They're
They're
just-
recru-
it's
they're re-
just-
they're
the
redoing
apps
them.
are just the cable channels again.
Exactly.
It's just like they're.
I mean, they're not
supposed
dumb. They're getting their piece.
Yes.
I mean, like I'm watching Paramount Plus. It's the same shit.
It's all the same stuff.
It's all the
They're-
same. It's
and-
networks looking different.
They'll always find a way to,
Yeah.
but people always watch, and it's great now because there's stuff. It's so tailored to specific markets that you can
Yeah.
find something that you're really into. And
So performing improv.
Yes, I was going to get back to your improv now.
Yeah, let's hear about it. Let's hear how you got into that.
I got into improv. You guys watch Scrubs?
Absolutely.
Neil Flynn, who was the janitor, got me into
Which is so good.
improv. And Molly Shannon, right? So I showed up out there. I was like, I want to be a writer because I thought it was cool and I was funny. I had no experience, and there's no reason anyone ever would have like hired me. Like at the beginning, like I didn't have. She's like, I'm going to be a writer. Like, really? Why?
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I don't know. I walk Zach's dog. But,
I got your coffee this morning.
yeah. So look, I mean, and that's most of it. It's an access thing, which is another thing about the Uptown, right? It's like you just have to show up and not get fired for a while, and it's like just the people who get to go do that are people who like live around there, or they were well off enough that their parents sent them off and paid their rent for a while so they could make it on $0 now. So it's there's a whole access thing. But yeah, I was working as a PA. I was 25. I had a master's degree, and I was getting paid not much money to like deliver script. This is now it's all email, but like the writers would write all night, and then at like 10 they'd be done, and I'd run 200 copies and then drive them all over LA overnight.
Jeez.
And I was just talking to Neil Flynn one time, and Neil is one of the great improvisers ever.
He's
probably
so good.
He's so good. His team,
Just the way he
Beer
delivers.
Shark Mice, is one of the best. Like I would go see them at Improv Olympic, and these guys are just. It was like magic watching them, right? It was just like, oh God, like I want to do that. And they'd be like, if you come here, you can take a class and learn how to do that. I'm like, fuck you, I can do that. But like, it's addicting, when you get up there and you're doing it and you're learning it. And so I got in because Neil was like, not only did I watch him, but I told him I wanted to be a writer. He was like, oh, you need to improvise. And then I didn't draw the connection. Molly Shannon said the same thing. I was like bringing her. She was a guest star on the show, and she was very sweet.
Molly Shannon from Saturday Night
SNL.
Live,
Usually they don't, people will or won't talk to you. She was great. She's like, hey, what are you doing?
That's
like,
awesome.
You don't want to be a BA your whole life? What do you? I'm like, I want to be a writer. She's like, oh, do you do improv? And I was like, oh, no. She's like, you need to. And I never drew the connection. I was like, I don't want to be an actor. I want to be a writer. Right. But it's...
opens up your mind.
Right? You learn comedy, right? You learn what people laugh at. You learn, and there's very specific things, and especially in terms of you're talking crowd work, like you learn how to be in front of a crowd and work a crowd and be comfortable just doing that, getting up there and being
the best thing.
What was your first experience with it?
Oh man.
First experience, you're ready to go. There's a crowd.
You mean
out
for
there.
improv?
For improv.
My very first show that wasn't like a class show,
Right.
Because like it was a 6-level like year-long thing, and through like the last couple levels you would have weekly shows with your class and you'd have to bring your friends.
Right.
But our very first show at iOS, I had a team we put together of people who were in my class. We're called Afternoon Delight. Just some lovely people I played with. And our very first show on the main stage of iOS, it's like a Friday night, like packed house, and we would do Herald, which is you take a one-word suggestion from the audience and then kind of break down some information from that and do essentially a 3-beat 3-act play based on one word. And so we got up, we asked for our one-word suggestion, and my roommate, who was there with his drunk girlfriend, she goes, Devin Mahoney. So the subject of my very first improv show was my name.
Was your name?
It was just mortifying to me. It was just like, oh no, like it was such not a cool thing to have happen to me. That
Could have said butter.
it would have been so great.
Yeah.
But like, and so now it's like, and then everyone had to go with it. So it was just like, oh, he's whatever, and it's just like, and it turned into a good show. But I was just like, oh my god.
Did you go like, let's do another one?
if it hadn't been my first show, I probably would have. But I'm like,
that.
you got to do it.
Right.
Yes, and
Like,
is the
that's
first
my
rule.
name. That's ridiculous.
So
Let's go here.
How do you get improving on your name? How does this happen?
So how do you, how's your brain work on that?
Well, then so doing with that, you're with a team of 8 people. So like I think I was the one who had asked for the suggestion. And then kind of everyone comes up, and then my buddy Scott comes up. He's like, I'm muscular, and I look like I played football in high school. And someone else is like, I think I'm a comedy writer. And it's just kind of like you start to get into
kind of roasting you.
You very quickly, yeah. But you also very quickly get away, and in terms of the way they teach in terms of suggestions, it's like if somebody says ice cream, as the suggestion, 9 times out of 10 somebody will be like, licking a cone or scooping.
Right, just doing the
And
obvious.
it's like, so it's like there is, and we teach the improv, it's like, what does ice cream make you think of? And then what does that make you think of? And then that third thing is where you can jump off. It's like the suggestion is literally just the jumping off point where I can very quickly associate boom, boom, boom. Oh, that makes me think. That makes me think of this. And now all of a sudden, maybe it's ice cream related, but
So your name reminded you of?
I think there were. I don't remember. I think there were like they made fun of me.
Yeah.
So like there were I think there's probably like a high school football team where there was like a guy in like a Letterman jacket with his girlfriend, then like a
Look
nerd.
at me, I'm Devin.
So I mean, but yeah, then you pull things from that. Like you have a scene with a nerd, a Letterman jacket guy and a cheerleader. Then you have a scene with two nerds who are watching SNL together, and then you have a scene with I don't know whatever else they would make fun
another
of,
scene, yeah.
And then you just you do a little game, and then you revisit those first three scenes, and then you mix it up again, and then by the end you try to get all the people to kind of to like mesh the story, like fishtail the storylines.
Right.
So that's the structure. Like if you were gonna, you're teaching your structure, like you said, you get the subject, and then you think of the three.
And that's a herald. That's what they
called
call
a herald.
Yeah, that was invented by Del Close, who was kind of like the.
I thought it was invented by somebody named Harold.
Right.
It would make sense.
Well, someone was like, "What do we call this thing?" And
Harold.
yeah, like, I don't know. Let's call it Harold.
Call it a Harold.
It's a good name.
We've done our thing for so long. We have no lingo whatsoever.
We don't even know if it's
We
improv.
we have no way.
We don't even know what
No,
it
it's
is.
improv because we have no idea what we're doing.
How about if it's no
we used
idea?
to do a show. Well, we used to come up here, every Thursday night. We come in here, 10 minutes before we're here? What are we doing? What
Put some
characters
wigs
are we
on
doing?
and-
Throw the wigs on, do the characters, let it roll.
wing it.
Yep.
And
So
we
what's
do
that called?
That's what we do. And we do it for an hour.
Yeah.
We just roll.
We do
it.
an hour. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Improv.
I mean, that's improv. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean there are so many different forms. Like Harold is a very specific thing, like, and that's kind of one school. There are other forms even that we do. Like there's a form we do where we'll have like a guest monologist kind of come up and get a suggestion, and then they'll tell a story.
I'm going to pretend I know what a guest monologist
Someone
means.
like a guest host to tell a monologue, right? So
Did you
just
say
have
guest monologist?
Yeah.
I did.
We're not bright. We're not bright
Okay,
here.
so you
Guest host works.
Guest host works, right?
Thank you.
So they would do this at Upright Citizens Brigade, and I saw Ron Jeremy do this, where Ron Jeremy was the host, and then Upright Citizens Brigade, like all their best people were there, kind of behind them on stage. They would get a suggestion from the audience.
Ouch.
I think it was boat or something.
Sure.
And then he would tell a story about like. One time he was on a boat, and this was like he was banging this girl over the side, even though
motorboating.
She was getting seasick and like throwing up over the side of the boat, and he was still doing his thing. And so like he told that story, and then they all took their things,
Jesus
and
Christ.
like you saw variations of kind of
You kind of blow it out of proportion.
you blow it out of proportion, kind of based in the same thing. You don't want to actually reenact it because that's boring, but like
yeah.
but those kind of things of like like having sex even though you're doing something gross, or like doing your job even though you're not feeling well. What's another, like their thing is, if this then what? If this is true, what else is true? If if this girl will work even though she's what else will she do when so it's just making those kind of logic jumps.
It's kind of cool if everybody does that, especially if you got more than one. You got 8 people or 5 people going at the same thing, and then you have to catch on to what they're doing.
And it's all really quick, right?
Sometimes is it timed, or people come in and out like tags?
It's tags, right? So it's whoever's on stage decides, right? So if it's like sometimes scenes are a couple minute long. Sometimes it's just like a couple lines really quick, and it's like laugh, boom, you're out. We're on to the next thing, and everything kind of builds on the last thing.
Well, what I want to do is, I think once he's up and running, we do a podcast down there.
Oh, yeah,
we
for
go
sure.
on the road. We get there.
Yeah, he's
we
been
have
up
some
and
fun.
running. He's been up and running. He has
Yeah.
that front room where
If
they
you guys
do
don't
improv
mind,
classes
if we-
all
I
the
would
time.
love to have
come
you
out
guys.
there,
No, I would love to have
If we
you guys
come out there and do a show and maybe have some of your people come in and out of our
that would be
our
fantastic.
podcast.
Yeah.
You would love it. You
Yeah.
would love that little spot. He's got a great little spot over there. There's a
Let's
nice
do
little
that.
stage. You could get up there. You could do some
Yeah,
stand-up
let's do
routines.
that. Let's
he does
do
a
that.
stand-up class. He does the improv class.
I mean, we won't charge you a lot, but we'll figure it out. We'll
We'll charge you.
We'll talk to
Pay any
you.
amount.
Nobody charges us.
We will agree to pay any amount.
So,
we're kidding.
actually, since we're on the subject, I think maybe we should do a little exercise of improv right now.
Oh, hey, why not?
Like I was thinking
try
we
to
do
figure-
yes and.
I've never done that. What's yes and?
Yes and? Explain what yes and is.
So yes and is it's when you're teaching improv, it's kind of the first rule.
It's improv 101.
And you guys probably doing it without even knowing. It's just agreeing with each other, right? It's saying yes to the thing the other person says to you, and then adding your own piece of information to build off that. So, yeah, I just got done working out. Yeah, you did, and you look really swole. Yeah, I am really swole because I took a lot of extra steroids today. Yeah, you did, man. You got that extra bonus at work, and you put it all into steroids. Like, yeah, I'm really smart. And it's just like, as long as you agree and add information, you can just go forward.
Right.
And
Keep expanding on it.
Yeah, and you don't know, and it gets tricky because you know there are ways to say yes by saying no. Which
That's what my wife says all the time.
There you go.
She says yes by saying no.
But yeah, so it's like
I'm out. I win.
Sometimes to say yes to somebody in a scene, it's the yes is like agreeing to the premise of the scene, right?
If I said to you, "Oh my God, I had so much drinks today. I'm hammered,"
Yeah.
and you would say,
Yeah, man, I saw you drinking like at the bus stop when I drove by at like 6:30 this morning.
Yeah, what the hell were you doing at the bus stop?
you would say,
He was at the bus stop because he was waiting for his bus because he was so drunk that he needed a ride to his rehab appointment.
Oh, yeah, because he doesn't have his car.
Right.
because I'm so drunk, I wasn't supposed to drive, so I thought the bus could drive me to the drugstore to get more beer.
Oh, this is the third time you've lost your license this month.
I know where it is. I just can't get in the car to drive. So it's
Yeah,
right
the
in
police
the.
took it away. No, that's what I meant. Suspended.
Well, it's suspended until I drive again. So
Right,
that's.
last time he drove right into a suspension bridge.
Yeah, and he almost drowned and got himself into some serious trouble. But then he was able to swim to a shore, and he rescued a dog.
Yeah, but parts of the West Canada Creek Valley were flooded, and much of that dog's family was killed, which is very sad. And your dog's depressed now, right?
My dog's depressed, but the good thing is that he drinks a lot of coffee, so the caffeine gets him jumping around and feeling better.
Oh, yeah, and he fucked the cat yesterday. I swear to God, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, he's a dog person.
Right.
Well,
And it's like the scene, you know, like
Well, you know,
and I would say fuck cats. I hate whatever.
more
So
is
it's
the
just
cat.
it's just adding
And you
on.
just keep expanding,
on. Okay.
So you would
That's what we
consider
did the
that?
other night with
That's
that girl.
exactly what we did with
That's
that girl.
we
exactly
the other
did
day.
with that girl.
with fake words.
Yeah,
it's
fake
what
words.
you do with your friends without realizing what you're doing, right?
Right.
When you're on a really good riff, it's like, yeah. And he was like, I remember one time I was even before I was into this stuff, like I was at a bar with my writing partner, and you get bored, right? And you just want to fuck with people. It's like, well, I haven't been to see you in a while. Like, where like, oh yeah, like we went down to Mexico last weekend and got arrested by some federales. And it's like, oh yeah, it was a gross.
And then we got out. Yeah.
And it's like when your buddy knows enough that like you're fucking with this person that they're gonna add details, like, yeah, and then that guy wanted like $300, but they had already taken all our money, like, and
So that's exactly what we did this weekend to that girl. That's exactly
Do you
what we
remember
did.
what we did to that girl in the bar at a long time ago? You remember this? These two girls come up and we're talking. And we're like, oh my God, yeah. And he's like, I gotta go because I just got a call. Remember
yeah.
we hit that cow? You hit a cow?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit a cow. It couldn't even move the damn thing. I had to take a freaking motor thing. I had to cut the thing in half.
did you get blood on yourself?
Yeah.
All over.
My God, did we get blood? Yeah. I mean,
all
we
over
were.
the place. Are you kidding me? I had to take half of that cow. There's guts were shit all over the place.
But the good thing is, I love steak, so
Right.
You know, we had a lot of steak to bring home.
hamburgers, lot of
Yeah.
hamburgers in there.
But we do that all the time and not even knowing. Like you said, we did it this weekend.
Just watching those people's faces.
And then it's like okay, I really didn't think you were gonna go for the first thing, and then you try to stretch it out a little bit more. It's like, yeah, we're in prison.
Oh, we ripped it all
And
the way
then it's
out.
like, holy, and then it's just like, how far can I go with this person? And then you feel bad.
Yeah.
And then either you tell them or you don't. I'd like not to.
We never feel
but,
bad.
Yeah, I mean,
It is a tough
fun
thing.
with people.
The thing that we do is, yes, we do improv, but it's within our imaginary world.
Yeah, for sure.
Our characters. We have this thing, so it's easier because
Right.
we know where we're going with this character. Where you guys, You're thinking of a word,
It's
and
wide
you're going
open.
at it.
It's wide
We're
open.
going with our premise of what our show's about. So it's so much easier for us to.
Yeah.
We do the same thing, but it's so much easier to improv about. Oh, San Maria's going to go to the casino because we do that. We did that every night here.
Improv inside the
It's
character.
always inside the character, so
Exactly.
it's so much easier to create more stories because you know the character. Right? In your case, you're just throwing out words, and you have to think about it at that moment,
Right.
which could be a lot harder because we already know our characters.
Yeah,
we
when you
already
have
know
that
where we're
developed-
going.
and it's a great like idea generator. She was like, "Oh, that scene, well, that's also what's kind of exciting about it too. Is like, it only exists in the moment, right? For like the
Right,
people that
right.
are there, and it's very like from throwing out the suggestion or just being a part of like, oh, then they just made it up. Like it makes it like such a cool thing. You only
Yeah.
get to see it if you're there, and
See-
it's like. That's what I really like about it.
What I enjoy, and I've learned to enjoy, and I think we do it well, is crowd work. I just love it. When we're doing our comedy, when we're doing our characters, and if sometimes the world gives you a gem, and you're like, yes, oh my God,
way a person laughs,
that's gonna be great,
the way a person
or
laughs,
what they're
what they
wearing,
say.
or what, and that to me is like crowd work. Because every day, every show is different because the crowd is different. And you can build that. I like the same thing with improv. It kind of sharpens your comedy
It's a muscle,
tool.
right?
Yeah.
It's like if this then what, right? If this lady dresses like this,
Right,
it's like,
what am I gonna-
else
right,
is true
what
about
else
her,
is
right?
true
Like
about
she's
her?
probably also
Right,
like this. So yeah, so you learn those
Yeah.
things, and like we went with Rich, like he's got all these great paradigms that he was working us hard and just like putting everything through all these different filters, from exaggeration to
Right.
juxtaposition, like all these different things to like from a writing standpoint to like use as a checklist to go over with a fine-tuned comb and be like, oh, could it be funny from this angle, or world's worst and world's best, and like all these
Right.
different things that are you can kind of use as a checklist that you might not automatically think of, but once you try to apply that, it's like, oh no, there's this other thing I can throw on the pile.
Well, the cool thing what you do is, like you said, all the people there are not because they want to be stand-ups. Some people want to be better at writing. Some people want to be better speakers at the company where they work.
Yes.
So that's the cool thing about what you're doing. You're not going there just because you want to be a stand-up comedian or an
Right.
actor. You want to go and sharpen whatever your life is, and to get you your brain thinking, right?
Yeah, and that's why I like it here so much more than LA too, right? Is like it's so like we have found like it just draws such a great group of people, right? People who are open to like, I don't really know what this thing is, but I know it's comedy. It could
Right.
be kind of fun. It's good for talking, and like people are willing to take a chance and try something,
Right.
And so that's it. Like
And it's fun.
That's a great group thing to begin with, right? And then
fun
the
to
whole
do,
thing
too.
is like saying yes to each other. So like then you get like it builds such a great bond between people
Right.
really quickly because like we're all acting like assholes, and now it's fun. People are looking at us, but it's screw it because it's fun.
We've been acting like assholes
And-
for a long time.
But, like we have these people now that are hanging out that like from their teens literally through probably their 60s, black and white, different races, gay and straight,
Right.
and trans, and like these people never would have met each other, and now they're getting together every week, and like we just did our first improv practice live after COVID this week. And it's just so cool to see all these people who never would have like crossed
Known each other,
paths,
been, in the
but
same
they're
room.
all the kind of people they were looking for each other because they're like
Right.
funny people that were like they're not into sports, they're not necessarily into drink, they're into doing this shit,
Right.
like
Yeah.
cracking up with their friends. So it's been a great way to find people, and the community we're building I think is to me the most rewarding part of all of it. Like
Awesome.
it's cool to be doing the building, but like
Yeah.
the filling the building with the people who want to use it has been like the really cool thing.
And it's also cool for you to come back home and what you've learned
It's a great story.
and come back and kind of open up something for people here because we all can't go to LA and do this stuff. So when you bring it back home, you're giving everybody a chance to live
Yeah.
that and experience that because a lot of times you have to be in New York or LA or
You
big
absolutely
cities.
and you did, and that's not true anymore,
Right.
right?
So people like
I
you-
want to I don't want to just make it a stage. I'm going to make it a sound stage, so we can
Exactly.
shoot movies in there. And,
Exactly.
and
I mean,
we've
just
got
dream and
equipment
let that-
and dream, and you don't have to go to Hollywood now to write something good. You can have Rich Tallarico come online and teach you really good screenwriting, and you can shoot it here. Everything around here is gorgeous. You could shoot Utica for any
full
for
movies.
any
Yeah, I mean,
place.
yeah.
the
You want mountains, you want hills, you want whatever. You can
Great backdrop.
water.
It's just such a great backdrop. It's so accessible. It's so cheap.
And people are
here.
starting to do that too.
Yeah.
In Syracuse. And
Syracuse, Hudson
they're making
Valley,
movies.
all over the place.
Yeah.
So
It's growing.
I think it's great, and that's part of it. I'm trying to I walk by that building every day, and not every day, but I mean,
Right,
every
often,
day,
yeah.
like always, we would go down there and it's just like peek in that music store and be like, I wonder if they'd be open today, so we can look at that saxophone we've been looking at for 10 years and they've never been open. But I remember being in like college, and like 1 year in college, like all my buddies who weren't in college like were working and went out and bought motorcycles.
Yeah.
So they spent the whole summer driving their motorcycles, and I was just like sitting around by myself and like literally had nothing. Like all my buddies were out, and I just remember being like, man, I wish there was like a place I could like go watch shitty stand up or just like some comedy thing. Like there was nothing. So to be able to be like use it as a stepping stone, and then we've been bringing in I've been bringing in like old bosses and writers I've worked with to do like talks. We've done some online things. So it's been really cool. Greg Garcia created My Name Is Earl, came in last month, and Andy Schwartz, who's rewriting Brady Bunch right now. And,
Really?
Yeah, man. So it's like we're doing these really cool online events with these like
That's awesome,
really
man.
big producers. So it's been cool.
Tony's got a
Tony's got a
question
question for Gabe.
No, because one of my aspirations has always been to own like a theater and entertainment center and bring entertainers
Yeah.
and such. So you said you're about 2.5 years into a 5-year project.
Yes.
It's year 5. You accomplished everything you wanted. Could you describe the Uptown Theater? How would it be? What would be your final?
That's a great question.
He wants to know your business plan, pretty much.
No, I'll tell you.
He
In
wants
your
to
final
take
year.
it from you. No, I'm kidding.
It's fine. People have already tried that. And
Well,
I'm
here's
kidding.
your
He's a good
promoter
man.
right here. He'll book a lot of shows
no,
for
but
you.
that's it's my dream is for it to be, it started and was built as a one screen silent movie theater with a stage that could also accommodate live performances. We're a year older than the Stanley, so we're the oldest theater in the city. It was built for 1,500 seats. It's got about 500 now because they're big and they're laid out weird. But my dream would be to restore the building to its original look.
Architecture.
Like architecture
Yeah.
and as best possible. There aren't a lot of pictures, but to really give it the aesthetic facelift it needs to make it, and then to make it the beautiful theater it deserves to be. It's not the Stanley. It's not as ornate like that. It's much more kind of just brick and stone, and
It's stripped down.
It's industrial looking, and it was built like that for a reason. It's supposed to be utilitarian and for the community to have access to. So I want to make it gorgeous. I want to make it a gorgeous place to stay a show. We were talking about this with Tim Hardiman. I think we're 5 hours from everywhere.
Right.
To have a 1,500 seat theater where you could see like a really great band in a kind of smallish, intimate
That's what I
view.
wanted to ask about the functionality of the theater. So
The functionality of the theater.
decide what are you gonna find, and then what's your plans like if you wanted to, music,
We should
stand-up
have a mic.
comedy.
He needs a mic.
So we've got the
Maybe Zeke can explain what he just said.
He just pretty much wants to know what your future plans are. If you plan on having what type of entertainment and whatnot in the 5-year
everything,
plan.
right? So I mean, I'm a comedy guy. I would love to bring in, really top rate stand-up comedians, A-list people.
Comedy theater. There's no comedy clubs in New York.
There's no comedy.
There's no
club.
comedy
Nope.
clubs in Utica. So in addition to doing our weekly open mic, and we get people from Syracuse, from Binghamton, from Saratoga every week. Paul Kozlowski wrote for the original Jon Stewart show,
He's
the
hysterical.
Chris Rock show.
Yeah, Paul.
Really?
He's a local guy too.
He's from like Binghamton.
Oh, is he?
But he drives up every week, and like,
That's local enough.
I mean, but that's the thing. There's so few opportunities that the people upstate will drive from Binghamton to Syracuse
Right.
to Utica to Albany to get a mic, because there's not, especially comedy ones, like they don't want to compete with guitars and poems.
Right.
necessarily. And so people say it's one of their favorite rooms to play around here, because it's just it's a lot of comedians from around, and they're good. These people are good. I mean, not all of them. Some people just get up there and they're you know.
But they got to find their place too. I mean,
But I mean,
yeah.
some people, and we'll let anybody else.
Yeah.
Some people just get up and they wing it, but some of them are guys that have been working.
We were
at it
talking
for-
about that
for
show,
years.
Kill
Yeah.
Tony. That's about it. Yeah, go up there and just try it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, we're just, you know, it's so much just about with improv too, just getting your reps, just like being on stage and failing enough times to be comfortable doing it, and learning the flow and
Yeah.
the pace and what works and what doesn't. So
Well, it's like Louie and I. I mean, what we did 3-4 years ago compared to now, it's day and night. I mean, it's you know, because you need that. You need that time. You need those hours. You need those stage time. That you need to know what works and what doesn't work. And so,
A matter of honing your craft, you
Yeah.
know. It's and you don't do that unless you just jump out and do it.
Right.
I mean, when we did our first show, it was let's just do this. Let's just go. I'm like throw myself into the fire, guy.
Deb, imagine this: two guys. We wrote a show in the basement, and we're heading off to Australia. Never done the show.
First show sitting in
together.
Australia.
Never done a show together.
Shit our pants.
Now we've done other things.
Right.
Never done this
Not this
show.
thing.
We've never were two people. We always worked with other people. Never didn't know what we were going to do. Had 2 sold out shows, Melbourne and us and Sydney, and we went out there. We had no clue how it was going to go.
We knew-
but we knew we
knew
could
they
do
were
it.
there for
We
us.
knew we could do it. We knew there was a safe room. Everybody there knew us. So that's the first.
Well, here's the thing: as safe as can be, because the Italians can be.
Well, yeah,
fucking
but it was
brutal.
it was
If
our
you're
fans.
not good.
They were our fans. They would.
They will kill you.
They will not stick around. They won't stick around.
But
they won't stick
it
around.
was different because everybody we talked to said, "How are these guys going to get a basement show that they do on
Or-
stage?"
right, or
and it
video.
was a completely different animal because we wanted to make it a different animal on stage, and we did it.
Yeah.
You know, and
But you-
to our surprise, we're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, we can do this. Yeah, we did
rock
this.
All right, and then we're ready to go. We didn't get to the States till our 4th show. It's a
America was our.
the
our
last
awesome.
country.
You're like the Beatles, yeah. Like you
Crazy.
well, we're some kind of bug. Yeah, we're.
It's been
You know,
it's been a
you know.
fantastic journey so far. So hopefully,
But
we
everybody
still
that
continue
like we say, everybody that goes to your place, and you just got to go up there and do it.
Yes.
Keep doing it time after time. It gets easier.
90% is just showing up
Right.
and continue
to show up. Yeah. So it was a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, Devin,
Stick
thanks so
around.
much, man. I
really
Stick around. We
appreciate you
want to
guys,
get
yeah.
we want to get a podcast going
For sure.
at your place
I
and
would love to.
have people come in and out, and we
That
can
would be
talk
great.
to them. I think that'd be fun.
one of these days you do a lot of Wednesday stuff, right?
We have a standing Wednesday open mic, which
Yeah.
is kind of the first thing. It's the only thing we're doing right now is we have just kind of come out of hiding. You know, we are in those 2 smaller spaces, so space has been an issue in terms of shutdown. So we're doing it in the lobby now, as opposed to our open mic in the lobby, as opposed to that studio space, which has allowed us to spread out. But they also, the CDC guidelines are just changing today. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Well, maybe
it's
we could do like a Kill Tony kind of vibe.
Sure.
Where people come up and do their open mics, and
I'd
we
love-
could
yeah.
sit there and watch and kind of, I think it'd be cool. I'll get you. Yeah,
I'm down for any of that stuff. Yeah,
that'd be
and
fun.
I'm sure all the guys would be too.
We'll
and gals.
exchange some information.
So we want,
I would
we'll
love
do
to
all that. We
something
want to
over
thank
there
everybody. I know Zia's probably been watching and waiting.
We're doing a Zia thing.
I mean,
Zia
a little
Bleach,
bit.
are
If
you
she-
out there?
If
Devin,
she's
hang
willing.
though. Hang
Oh,
out.
hang
Yeah,
out. Yeah,
hang
yeah, yeah.
for this.
Hang out with us. If Zia, if you're out there, thank you for waiting. Thank you guys. We want to, Devin, this has been awesome, man. Look him up. Where can you, let's get all your information out there.
We are at uptownutica.org is the main site. We're doing a fundraiser right now called Save a Seat. We're asking folks to sponsor seats to help us pay for the renovation. This next
They can pay anything they want. Start from.
The seat, you can donate any amount, and we
Yep.
appreciate every amount. The seats are $500.
Okay.
Which is $40 a month. You can do it monthly. Breaks down to $1.37 a day.
That's awesome.
He knows his math.
Listen, like people are
Smart,
like, like we know it's a big ask, but we also like
It is.
if we're gonna do this, we need the community support, and people have been stepping up. We're up to I think 80 close to 85 grand now.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
We just
Good
got
for you.
we just got another grant through the city yesterday, so the city's been great.
Wow.
So-
Congrats.
So it's
Good for you,
snowballing.
man.
So yeah, so saveaseat.org. We would appreciate any amount. If you want to save a seat, you get your name on the plaque on the seat, and we're doing a whole founders
That's
thing.
awesome.
So
So
thank you
love
guys
it.
so much for having me. This
I
has
love
been-
it. Thank you,
Anytime.
Devin. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So stick around. We're gonna have now we're gonna get really stupid.
Yeah.
We sounded so smart, but Mingia. We're going to have Zia Palich with What's
her in
Bugging
here.
Zia. If you're on here, I don't know if you saw her on here.
She's coming. She said
Okay.
she's coming.
Absolutely.
She's waiting. So is her ladies group.
Her ladies group is with her.
I don't even want to know what that
Yes.
means.
So we don't know
So
what that means
have
either.
you ever heard of What's Bugging Zia segment?
I don't know about.
Okay,
Zia.
well you're in for a treat.
I'm excited for this.
You're in for a treat, my friend.
Everybody out there is wishing you luck, Devin. So
Thank you,
wishing
gang.
you good luck on
Thank
the
you,
theater. Best wishes, Devin. Good luck, buddy.
He's a
Best
great
of luck,
guy, guys.
Devin.
If-
Yeah, so you
no,
got
look
a
it up.
Bunch
Help
of
him.
the family members saying congratulations and good luck. So once you get up and rolling, we'll hopefully bring Uncle Louie in there one of these days and do a performance down there.
I would
Yeah,
love
we'll
that.
see what we
Yeah,
can
that'd
do.
be great.
Yeah, we'll have fun with you guys. And I would like to get a podcast in there.
Yeah.
You know, just so that'll be fun. Maybe we can do. I love that whole idea.
Check your phone.
Nope, nothing here.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, you don't want her pissed off.
Oh,
especially
Jesus,
now.
all I need. It's after 9 o'clock. Her mad at after
What's
9.
Bugging CS coming up, guys?
So
Coming up in
Let's
just
see
a second.
everybody here. All right, yeah,
wanna thank you
Robin's
guys.
ready. Or Robin.
Robin is ready.
Robin, Butterfly, Zena,
Robin,
Bruce,
Butterfly.
Angela, Ravenna, Joanne. Joanne is a lady in waiting.
So check
as
out
well. Tina
Zia. Call my
Mazzone.
number, honey. So again, thank you guys. We would like to thank our sponsor of the show. And
Medical Alert Southwest.com.
Southwest.com, of course, and we'll have that at the end of the show.
Also, I want to remind everybody about our Patreon account. If you go to patreon.com/The Uncle Louie Variety Show, hold the sarcasm. You can get a whole bunch of exclusive content. If you are looking for Uncle Louie and Pasqualino, go to our Patreon.
That's where they are.
That's where they are.
I had a lot of people today ask about fairy tales. We are going to put all that stuff behind the wall, Patreon. Everything happens behind Patreon. Go to patreon.com/The Uncle Louie Variety Show. We're going to have Late Night with Uncle Louie. We're going to have Fairy Tales and Vino. And I think we have Zia right now. And Zia, can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm fucking pissed.
Is that microphone's not on, dude? It's not.
Ashpit. I don't know why it's not on.
in. Try it again.
But hold on, Zia.
Yeah, I'm holding.
It's not on.
Oh, he's not on. So
I'm
you can
holding,
put it
hold this.
closer.
She said, here, I'll give her this.
It's not gonna work either.
No?
But go ahead. You can try.
Why isn't it on?
It's unmuted.
Okay, Tia, talk a little bit.
What?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Pissed. Can you hear me? No, I can't hear nothing. There's my fucking picture.
There we go. We got you.
There.
Can you hear on the mic or no? Can you hear this?
The mic's on. It's for some reason. Is there a switch on that mic?
No, there's tape on it.
It's not plugged in. Then it's
I
probably.
We got problems tonight. We got problems, Tia. We got problems.
You want? Is this?
Down this morning with the Verizon landline, so I'm not surprised
should
you're
be
having
over there.
problems.
Yeah, we're getting.
There was nothing.
Look,
on
you're
top.
pulling the snake. This is
Okay.
why you're pulling the snake.
Carlos pulling the snake.
I'm pulling a snake.
I pulled the snake before I got here.
Don't ever move here. Move this back.
All right, we're gonna move it back, Zia.
See, they're moving it back.
They pulled the snake, Tia.
Yeah, this is snake.
They pulled the snake. Let's see if
You're the
on
perfect
now.
person to talk about pulling snakes. He's gonna try to fix it.
Go ahead, Zia. Talk.
I thought I lost you there for a minute.
She did.
You lost us for a minute. I mean, everything's plugged in. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. We're trying. This show has been, we're all over the place. That's all right.
We're plagued.
It really is a clusterfuck.
Well, thank you.
Well, I got pulled out of the channel.
That's our name. That's our name is Cluster F. But how you doing today?
Not good.
Oh, you got a lot to talk about, don't you?
I have a few things to talk about. Yes, I do.
All right.
Yeah.
What's bugging you, Zia?
That was Devin.
I don't know. Can you hear? Can they
Yes,
hear?
yes.
Yep.
got you now.
Yep. Z got it all fixed.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Yes. Keep talking, baby girl.
We're there. So what's
Okay,
bugging
baby
you,
girl,
Tia?
82 and I'm a baby girl? I don't think so. Hey, my first question is, did you get to taste any of the biscotti?
I love
Yes, we all had some.
They're gone.
Listen, we brought it to Pittsburgh, and Z and Gabe were next door to us, and they enjoyed it. They finished them off, and everybody loved it. Thank you.
Well, because Z came on, I guess it was Facebook, and thanked me for the biscuit, and I saw the tin in their room, and I wondered if you guys had gotten to taste them.
Oh yeah, we got.
Of course
them.
we did.
We
share everything.
The crumbs.
Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony's complaining about his crumbs.
He's complaining about his what?
He said he got crumbs. We left him crumbs. Yeah.
Well, and I said, didn't I say in the note share with Tony if Tony arrived? I don't know.
We don't give a shit about him.
Is Tony going to be a Costco?
Yes, of course.
Okay, well, then Tony will get his own little package.
All right. Well, that's what his girlfriend said. So, no. So what's bugging you?
All right, well, let me see if I can give you Reader's Digest because I know it's getting late. You guys probably want to go home. I don't know. I don't give a shit. But you know how every day of the year has a special name like Bring Your Kid to Work Day and National Donut Day and
Yep.
National Unicorn Day. Well, originally May 7th, but now it's been switched to May 28th, is National Masturbation Day.
That's every day, honey.
That's everything.
That's every day.
Well, you see, now you took my last line.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now the whole month of May has been declared International Masturbation Month. And this day was created, so they say, in 1995 by a San Franciscan sex shop in response to President Clinton's firing his Surgeon General after she suggested that masturbation be taught as part of sex education, I guess, in schools.
Hell yeah.
All right, so listen.
I'm
So
doing
let
it
me
right
get
now.
this straight. Wait a minute. The president gets a blowjob in the White House.
Oh, Jesus. Yep.
No, I'm not done.
These are
He
facts.
strokes his aide with a fucking cigar.
Oh God.
These are facts.
Oh, my
Makes
God.
the headlines, and now he's got the balls to fire the Surgeon General for making a suggestion.
Yeah.
Let's face it. We all know everybody has masturbated, and nobody admits to it.
Did it twice
Nobody
today,
talks
Zia.
about it. What?
I did it twice today.
and they do it in jokes or very quietly with best friend.
Devin is sitting there so scared. He's
Poor Devin.
He's like, what is going on?
Nothing. I see his face. He's taking it all in.
I don't think I could masturbate for a whole month. That sounds painful.
Well, do what you think you got to do.
All right.
Just, after all,
Quit
we've
when you
been
want.
told that if you masturbate, you'll go blind. You can stunt your growth. You can go insane.
That's why I'm 5'5".
It'll give you hairy palms. It'll give you acne.
Oh, my
or maybe
God.
you'll even go straight to hell if you believe in it.
Holy shit.
But if that were true, just think about it for a moment. Half of the population in the world would be blind dwarfs with acne and hairy palms.
She knows about my
That's
cake.
true. That's
And a little
true.
bit
All right,
sticky.
the statistics show that 80% of women and 99% of you boys have done it at some time in their life.
Yeah.
Just so you don't feel, just so you don't feel alone on this. We're not the only species that does this.
No way.
And it's not
Who else?
just dogs.
Oh God.
Who?
It's elephants, walruses, rhinos, and turtles. And they've all been
Disgusting.
observed doing
I hate
the
those
deed.
animals.
So now, when I have nothing better to do, I want to know how. So I'm going to have to do a little research.
The ones that they don't let you see them doing it, they have to be really worried about.
Right. It's the
They're
ones that
doing some
hide.
fucked
Yeah.
up stuff.
That makes going to the zoo a whole lot better now.
Well, you see them.
Let's see the turtles. Let's see the
With
turtles.
the monkeys, come on.
Why aren't the polar bears out today?
Yeah.
I got to
Go
tell you.
ahead and do it. Beat your meat, like your willie, Choke the chicken.
Yeah.
I got.
Wait a
I
minute.
gotta say one right now.
Louis got something for you.
Sub from Craig Sest. He says, "At this point, my Katsu's good for pissing."
That's all he's good for? Just peeing? Yeah, I know.
Is it?
So listen, just give yourself a hand, and May is Happy Ending Month.
That's awesome.
Happy
Let's
ending
give her a
month.
hand, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's give her a hand. That's
Kevin looks a little pink in the face.
Yeah,
Louis.
he's mortified
Devin?
by you, Zia.
Yeah, well,
What is his name?
Devin is actually masturbating right now.
masturbating
So
right
he's
now.
leave him alone.
The ones you can't see masturbating. The
He
ones you gotta
loves
look out
turtles.
for.
He loves
Nice
turtles.
turtles.
The idea of turtles
He
masturbating.
deserves.
Like the
And
snappers.
Maybe, give us a report on how turtles do it.
I can do that.
Yeah, we need that. We need next week on Members Only. How Turtles Masturbate by Devin.
I got a family membership to the zoo, so I'm more than
Yeah.
happy to look into that for you
I'll
guys.
go with you. I'm doing a report.
We'd like to see.
Well, Zia, that's interesting, and I'm looking forward for the whole month.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
tired already. I'm tired already.
A few days left. We got about 2 weeks left, so
Yeah, but
if you're
I-
behind in it, get going.
Yeah, trust me, I got a lot in the bank. I got a lot. I mean,
And do it for a good cause. Masturbate for the Uptown.
that's right. Masturbate. Get off on the Uptown.
I don't think that translates monetarily.
I don't think so.
It's a
But
new. It's
do
a
it for
new,
us.
It's a new 5K race.
Yeah.
It's about 4 hours long.
Oh, I don't know what they're measuring when the winner comes in, but he won by a head.
Bruno
So,
looks like I don't know, he's either cross-eyed or he's in shock or he's praying or I
Louis?
don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Louis been sleeping for an hour.
Who,
Louis
me?
looks like he's
Yeah,
sleeping,
yeah.
Oh, it does? Oh, no, I'm good. I'm up.
He's in a different chair, so he's
Listen to the whole
confused.
thing.
Okay.
He's confused. Thank you, Zia. We love you.
Thank you for the
Love you.
biscotti. The
Next
biscotti
time,
rocked.
Don't make me wait so long because I'm old. I could be dying here.
I know. Well,
apologize.
keep that masturbation going. Thank you, honey.
Masturbation keeps you young.
Masturbation keeps you
All
young.
right, Zia, love you.
That's good. It's good for you, whatever ails you.
We'll see you, honey.
All right, take good care.
Ciao, ciao.
All right, bye.
right.
That was Zia
There you go.
Palich with probably one of the most interesting conversations, and we've had many with her.
People thought I was sleeping.
Yeah, a lot of
Well,
people
or
have said that
masturbating.
throughout the night. Like,
Or
open up your
masturbating.
eyes, Lou. Open up your. A lot of
Does
people have said it.
Does this
You
look like I'm sleeping right now? Oh my God, it does look like I'm sleeping.
All you need is
I gotta do one of these. Holy crap.
I don't know.
it's the lids. We're getting older. Our lids
Maybe
just
it's
drop.
the way the camera's coming down this way. I don't know. Like on the end.
Well, this show was like a a happy ending with
Happy ending
with
with
Zia.
Kevin.
With,
ending.
He promised it would be, right?
exactly. Well,
It was in his
that's off
rider.
camera. As long as I keep drinking Crown, everybody will have a happy ending. But
This has been awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Devin, so much for coming in, man.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you
sir.
guys so much for having me. This was so much fun. It's always a pleasure to come in. It was so great to meet you guys.
No,
and I look forward to working together in the future.
absolutely.
That's a definite.
Let's get everybody to support Devin and the Uptown.
SaveASeatNow.org.
SaveASeatNow.org.
Awesome. And we
Nice.
will be back. Don't forget, tonight at midnight, we launch our Hold the Sarcasm podcast. You can catch that on pretty much all the streaming platforms, wherever you get your podcasts.
We
So
share.
iHeartRadio, Spotify,
Comment.
Amazon Music, Apple, Google, Stitcher, pretty much wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to Hold the Sarcasm.
I'll be sharing that tomorrow, and Z will also, and Louie. And we'll be doing that. Patreon.com/The Uncle Louie Variety Show.
Yep.
Get your VIP membership, only $10 a month, guys. $10 a month. You're going to get exclusive videos, exclusive podcasts. You're going to get behind the scenes. You're going to have the one-on-one happy hour, VIP happy hour once a month.
Yes.
And so much more.
Which we'll be doing one in a couple weeks, right? I think not next
Absolutely,
week, but
before
the
the month
after
ends,
we'll
yes.
do before the month ends.
For the
we'll
month
get in
ends, we're going to do our
VIP hour.
second VIP happy hour. And next week, we're going to drop our VIP lounge podcast.
Yep.
So please visit patreon.com/.
Yeah, we
The Uncle
say,
Louie.
give some shout outs. Zena Seguina, Joanne Townsend, Tina Nordic, M. Butterfly, Tina Mazzoni,
Butterfly.
Ravenna, Bruce Cornell. Let's see, Craig Sesty, of course. All right.
You guys are awesome, man.
Josephine Loseco. Let's see. Where else? Lucrezia Cecchi.
Lucrezia.
And
I love that name.
again, you guys were asking about.
Casazza.
A Fairy Tales and Vino. Every show on stage, we will guarantee you a Fairy Tales and Vino. Maybe not the Vino part, but a Fairy Tales. And coming soon, Patreon. We will tie in the Fairy Tales and Vino. Late night with Uncle Louie talk show. We're gonna have some fun out there. The characters are gonna come out there. Our aunts, uncles, all the crew. So Patreon, that's where you want to be. YouTube, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And our Facebook fans, we love you guys. It's been growing and growing and growing. Instagram, Twitter, all that shit. We want to thank you for all your love. Louie, what do you got there, buddy?
I'll tell you what, everybody's giving us love. Thank you guys so much tonight. Thank you, Devin.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you
Gabe.
all,
Watch
guys.
Gabe and Disruption Network, all the beautiful things that Disruption Network does throughout the week with podcasting and all that good stuff.
Next week, Ron Jeremy. No.
Next week, hopefully on
You're
the
Roger.
podcast, on Hold the Sarcasm, we're going to have Bruno Sammartino's son, Daryl Sammartino. So check out that. But this week we have funny man Mike Pensica.
Great
or
interview.
Pensica, funny man from Florida. And that's going to be fun. Midnight, couple hours now, right? So cool.
All right. We'll see you again. See you next
you
week.
guys.
Later, guys.
Peace.